Welcome back to Pitchcast Zoom edition.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah.
Um, what are you drinking there? Is that a Monster Energy drink? What do you got there?
It is. It is. I gotta be focused. I gotta have my energy levels amped up. I gotta be ready to do this.
Good stuff. Next time I will have a Guru or whatever. What's another one?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome back to Pitchcast Zoom Pandemic Edition.
Yeah. Liking
Um,
it.
Rich, did you watch the Suicide Squad trailer that premiered today?
Yes, I did. I did. It was crazy. I mean, again, it looks. I don't know. It looks fun. Like the last one. I wasn't a huge fan of the last one. I didn't think it was like awful, but it was not great. But I mean, this one. I mean, it has like a fun vibe to it, and yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's not going to be something for everyone. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll watch it. It's I don't know. It looks like a rollicking good time. So I don't know. What did you think? What was your opinion on it? Did you watch it?
Did watch it.
Yep.
I watched it right before we started recording on my phone.
Oh, okay.
As
The way to do it.
Tim Gunn, is that his name? No,
Well, James Gunn is the director.
James Gunn. Tim Gunn is the judge from the Heidi Klum fashion show. Tim Gunn is the
Okay. All right.
what was the name of that show?
I don't know. America's
Jeez, I
America's
don't
Top
know.
Model. I don't know any of this stuff. Like, what do you
Damn it. Anyway,
Heidi Klum fashion show?
yeah, they design clothes. Anyway, it is not him, James Gunn.
No, but his brother is in it. That's who I thought you were referencing, which is like
Whose brother?
James Gunn's brother is Sean Gunn,
Oh, okay.
and he plays all of like whenever they have like creatures in those things. He does like kind
Oh,
of like the motion capture, right? So
okay.
he was like the motion capture for the Rocket, the little raccoon. And in this
Oh, I
and
see.
in this one you saw there's like a little creature that was like licking the window or
I
whatever.
I did see that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think he's the motion capture for that. Might be the voice, I don't know. But
Okay. The Tim Gunn show is called Project Runway.
oh, okay, sure.
I could probably speak with greater authority on Project Runway than I could about the Suicide Squad, given that I did not see the first Suicide Squad.
Oh, you did? Oh, all
No,
right.
and here's my other question. I thought for a minute that Kevin Spacey was in this movie.
As who? As are
It
you,
was like, wow, James Gunn really going for it. Really solidarity with his fellow canceled brother.
did you get him confused with like Rooker? With Michael Rooker?
Is that who it is with the long hair? Is
Yeah,
that Michael Rooker?
yeah, the white hair.
Okay, I thought that was Kevin Spacey for a bit. And I was
Okay.
like, and then I was like, look, because it's a cast of thousands.
But that's
Scanning
still that would be huge news. That would be huge news.
it would be, and I was like, I'm surprised I haven't heard about this. I was scanning the cast list at
Yeah,
the end. There's
yeah,
like 90 people in this movie,
yeah. I
and I was like,
mean,
don't see Spacey on it.
and like high caliber, like Viola Davis is in these
Yeah, Viola
movies. She was in the
Davis.
first one and in this one, like, and I mean, like, obviously she's having fun and like this is like a different type of thing for her. But yeah, no.
Do you know who I feel kind of bad for?
Will,
And I don't,
no, go ahead.
and I never thought I would say I felt bad for beautiful, successful movie star Margot Robbie, but I feel like Margot Robbie, everybody likes her,
Yeah,
and everyone likes her as this character,
Harley
right?
Quinn.
This
Yeah.
this Harley Quinn character, but I feel like there has not been a good movie with her in it, right? Like I didn't see
Well,
I didn't see her own movie. I didn't see
that's the thing. I haven't seen.
Birds of Prey.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't think it was
Um,
well regarded. I think it's like they're waiting for it. Everyone seems to like that
well,
performance and that character, but
what was? I mean, what was the Rotten Tomatoes on that? I don't know. It's one of these things where, yeah, I agree with you. Like the character is well regarded. And yeah, her performance is well regarded, and all of
maybe
that.
this will be it.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe this will
I'll
be
never
it.
see it.
But it's yeah. No, you're not gonna watch it. Um,
I appreciated the Steely Dan in the trailer.
yeah.
It felt very very like R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy. That's really how that felt, which makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. I mean, that's definitely the vibe that they're going for. I mean, Birds of Prey has 78% tomato
Okay,
meter, 78%
I guess it's got a
yeah, audience score. I think I think, yeah, but definitely I understand what you're saying in that, you know, there needs to be a really good film. And I mean, that's just something that's like with like the DC and like all that kind of stuff. And, you know, that's been there is like they just need good films, period. But,
Right.
all right. Well, do you want to get started?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Let's do this up.
Oh yeah, we have to do the coin toss, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do the coin toss?
Yeah. I mean, sure. Why not?
Okay, coin toss. We have to say brought to you by. I guess it's Google who does the coin toss.
Sure.
Okay.
I pick
Heads or tails?
tails.
Tails. So you get to choose if you go
Okay.
first or not.
Okay. Well, I think the last time I took it and I went first, so I'm gonna throw it on you, man, and I'm gonna have you go
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Actually, let me pull up my spreadsheet here, so that I can give you some stuff, and also the timer as well.
Oh yeah, I have to do that too. You have a spreadsheet. I have a bunch of tabs open. It's
Sure,
always the same.
Sure,
Always
sure.
the same.
Yep. Let me see here. How do I even get to this thing? Sheets, Google Sheets. All right. Okay, so give me a number between 1 and 30.
29.
29. All right. So I'm gonna give you John Cho.
John Cho. Okay.
Yeah. And another number between 1 and 30.
15.
Let's see. I'm gonna give you. Oh, this name I think came up in the first episode, maybe, or the second one. Although we didn't use it. Karen Gillan.
Yes, that did come up.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan.
Yeah, from
right.
from Jumanji fame.
Jumanji.
Yes.
Okay.
And then did you want to do genre or title?
Give me a genre.
Okay. All right. So 1 to 30.
6. Hold on, let me just check something here. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay.
All right.
Yep, go ahead.
6. Animated.
Animated.
Yep.
So they are doing the voices
Yes.
of things, and it's John Cho and it's Karen Gillan.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get the timer started, and yeah, on the count. Well, we don't have to do a count. Timer started.
Okay. So this is a movie. This is like a Pixar kind of movie. It's not just a Pixar kind of movie. It is a Pixar film.
All right.
That takes place
I like it.
in that takes place in a construction site, and
Okay.
and it's one of these classic Pixar things that's just like it takes forever to make.
Yeah.
They're working on it forever, just steeped in mystery,
Yep.
and it's just absolutely completely heartbreaking, like just emotionally devastating.
Yeah.
So John Cho plays a talking piece of rebar, like this long
What? Yeah,
steel,
I know what rebar.
rebar is
Yeah.
that goes into concrete, and Karen Gillan is a piece of drywall, and
So I guess we're not really changing locations a lot.
no, that's the thing. It's like Wall-E or whatever, where it's
Yeah.
like it's all.
Yeah.
It's although Wall-E goes into space or whatever, but it's like all in one sort of. It's a construction site.
Yeah.
The whole world is the construction site. They
Yeah.
don't know anything. They don't know anything about the rest of the world.
Right.
All they know is the construction site.
Yeah.
And so they both get delivered to the construction site the same day,
Right.
and they're stacked next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess neither of these things move. That's a problem. Anyway, they start talking to each other.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing too, because like again, go back to Wall-E.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes of whatever are completely silent. It's like a silent movie.
Yeah. I remember.
And it's working within those constraints.
Mm-hmm.
It's working within the constraints of these things that just don't move and don't have faces. Except it's Pixar, so they do have faces. Like
Yeah,
the rebar, like the little
yeah,
ridges on
yeah,
the rebar talk like a mouth. They like move like a mouth.
yeah, and
And
googly
then
eyes and all that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So then they're talking about like what they think they're gonna be. They've been built and designed their whole life.
Yeah,
Like the rebar came from the foundry,
yeah,
and maybe we have a few scenes of it being like formed, like over the credits, like being
right,
formed
right,
into its
right.
like long thing, and then how I don't know how I don't even know what drywall is. It gets made into
Yeah,
drywall.
yeah.
I'm gonna say the word gypsum, and I don't even know if that's what that is. But anyway, so then they're talking, and they're so excited, and but the thing is, um, John Cho
Yeah.
as Rebar, and his name is Bar. Is so excited. He knows, like he thinks he's gonna become part of something great. He's gonna be part of a skyscraper. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
part of something great. And Karen Gillan is the drywall, and she has been around the block a little bit because she has gone to different sites and different houses and has been like moved around and not used.
Right, right.
And she also comes in later at the end of the process, so she knows what his fate is going to be, and that's just he's going to be covered in concrete and
Yeah,
going to be part of the foundation.
yeah.
But she doesn't want to tell him that. So the first
Ooh.
20 minutes of
Yeah,
this movie
yeah.
is just a stationary piece of rebar and a stationary piece of drywall talking to each other,
Yeah.
and then every once in a while
Like
talking.
legs walking through or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then every once in a while, like a talking forklift who's voiced by Larry the Cable Guy comes
Oh
by,
god.
and
1 minute left. 1 minute left.
Jesus, this is awful. Okay, so what ends up happening is they go on an adventure, Rich.
Yeah.
They go on an adventure.
Yeah.
They get loaded onto they get loaded onto a truck,
Yeah.
and Karen Gillan is like, "Oh God, I know what's going to happen. He's going to go to another construction site."
Yeah.
So they don't move, so I don't know how this happened.
Maybe they can like bounce around a little bit.
Yeah. So she goes onto the truck, and they go on an adventure.
Yeah.
And they go to different construction sites. One is like a very fancy house that's like supposed to be, and they're like, wow, wouldn't this be nice? And then the other one is like a prison. They're like, we don't want to be here. We don't want to be here in the prison. And they figure out ways to like sabotage the bad stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And help the good things until they see, there is going to be an orphanage that's going to get built, and the rebar has to sacrifice. Oh, wait a sec. No, the rebar is going to get okay. The rebar is going to go somewhere.
Time's done.
Anyway, they become really good friends, but they have to part because the drywall is going to become part of a like an orphanage where
Right.
kids are gonna draw on her on the wall. That's all she discovers. That's all she wants, and then John Cho goes off to become part of a memorial to 9/11. Again, 9/11 comes up. There you go.
Oh god.
But never mind that the 9/11 memorial already built. That tower has already been built.
I'm sorry. I'm loving it. I love that pitch. I honestly I can see it. I can see it in my mind. It's one of these things where it's utterly ridiculous and yet might be plausible. I don't know.
The critics will say we never thought they could pull it off. A movie about stationary construction objects.
Well, the first part of the pitch is actually. I mean, I think, again, like it seems so silly, so ridiculous, and yet I feel like they probably would do that, where it's just like one long shot, 20-minute shot of like these two characters talking to each other and sharing their hopes and dreams and all this stuff, and like the construction workers walking through the frame.
You're walking.
Yeah,
by,
and then
it rains.
Yeah, and then one of them just gets picked up, and it's like, oh no, and then the adventure starts, and but it's crazy, and yeah, like I mean the storyline is fine and everything, but it's the 9/11 twist at the end got me. It got me.
Yeah.
It was a little
Gets to be part of history.
right. No, it was. I mean, it was fun, and as I said, I would watch it. I would.
Honestly, if it was a real Pixar movie, there would be a scene where he was going to get melted down again. This always happens in these movies where they're like, oh no, these characters we love are going to get incinerated or they're going to get like
I mean, it's
blown up or something. It's always happens.
It's funny how like much these kids movies tug on your heartstrings, and I mean, Toy Story 3 obviously is the big example where that happens, and no, it happens in other movies too. I remember like shedding tears at The Good Dinosaur and stuff like that. Like it's they get to the point where it's like an existential kind of thing where it's like someone's gonna take this rebar and melt it down or smash
melt it back down
or whatever they're gonna do to it. And so
there always has to be that threat of just like some horrible death.
Well, I guess kids gotta learn about it some way, but
and over again on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Every movie.
No, but I like it. I'd watch it. And since that was the genre, what is the title?
Oh gosh, the title is called. They all have kind of like these one-word titles now, right? Or they all have kind of very sort of. It's always like Onward or Soul or something like that. So now it's going to be called Building, and it's like about how. And it's about how you build like this. You're not just building things. You're building like a life.
Sure, the rationalization saved it. Building. All right. As I said, it's
building a relationship, building a friendship, an unlikely friendship.
It's a yes for me.
Yeah.
All right. So my turn.
Your turn. Okay. So we're gonna do the random actor generator.
Sure.
Because I'm lazy. Generate. Okay. It gave me Errol Flynn was the first one. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
The great
what is this
Oscar.
Generator that you're using?
It like pulls up people who've been dead for like 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we have.
We're gonna do a pitch in the future where we use Errol Flynn. That'll happen.
She has not been in a movie. Maybe she has been in a movie. I just have not seen her in a while. Demi Moore.
Okay.
Demi Moore. Oscar Isaac. Right. Demi Moore.
I'm liking this cast.
Do you want a title or a genre?
Give me a title.
Title. Okay. So your title is Born to Raise Hell.
Ooh.
Born to Raise Hell with Demi Moore and Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac or Oscar Isaacs?
Isaac. I think. Oscar Isaac.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Only singular, Oscar Isaac. And you have 5 minutes starting now.
Okay. Born to Raise Hell. All right. Born to Raise Hell is, I mean, my favorite genre is a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the vein of The Omen. And this is Oscar Isaac as a wealthy businessman who has a young wife played by Margot Robbie, who we were just
the aforementioned,
we were just talking about, and they want to have a child, but they aren't able to, and so they decide to use. Oh wait, no, should I flip it? I should flip it. No, I don't know. All right, so. It makes more sense to flip it. All right, I'm gonna flip it. All right,
sure,
so Oscar Isaac is a young businessman, young wealthy businessman who's married to an older woman, Demi Moore, and they cannot have a child, and so they decide to use a surrogate who is Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Margot Robbie has like a secret past and is like she's like into like this crazy cult, and and like her family from generations and generations have been in this like devil worshipping cult, that yeah, are just like they're very secretive, and but their rituals and everything apparently work, and so she
Mm-hmm.
is yeah, she's now moved into this town or whatever, this wealthy neighborhood. She's just kind of like a transient passing through, and they want to keep it hush hush secret because I guess they want to pretend that this is, even though I mean it's realistically it's like almost impossible. They want to pretend that it's like Demi Moore's actual kid.
60-year-old Demi
Yeah,
Moore.
yeah, and so
All right, well, whatever. She had Madonna had a baby or whatever.
yeah. So okay, so
58 years old. By the way, Demi Moore.
sure. All right, so they go through and the whole thing happens, and she's not being really like that weird, and so they're able to deal with it, and they just give her a whole bunch of money. They shove a whole bunch of money at her and tell her to go away, and the baby's born, and then in their kind of like um, gated community, they're showing off the baby, and the baby looks like real weird. Like the baby's like got the black hair and everything, and it's like it was born with like a full head of black hair, and it's like it's always angry, and but it never screams or cries or anything, and it's just they dress it up in like suits and stuff like that, and like yeah, and like the
Why did they dress it up as?
yeah, it's still a baby, and it's like wearing a full like suit and tie kind of thing and stuff, and Demi Moore's got the pram, and she's walking around the neighborhood and stuff with it, and people are kind of like slightly freaked out. Anyhow, inside the house, crazy stuff starts happening, and the baby like really likes Demi Moore and doesn't like Oscar Isaac, and he can sense it.
Okay.
And so anytime he tries to like get close to Demi Moore, or anytime he tries to show some love and affection and that kind of stuff, like the baby like injures him, like maybe one time.
Ooh.
Maybe one
1
time.
minute, by the way.
Oh yeah. Maybe one time, he gets like injured like while he's working on the car or something. The car like crashes down on him, and then and then another time he's like fixing a light and he falls off a ladder or something, and then he begins to sense it's the baby, and he goes for help, and he goes to I don't know, university. I mean, it's always the university or something like that. And,
Right. Yeah,
and
there's an expert.
Yeah, there's an expert played by Patrick Stewart, but he's got like a full head of hair. He's like they gave him a wig, and it's just like this crazy wig, like a fright wig, and he's the expert in like cults and that kind of stuff. Mythology and all this kind of stuff, and so he tells them that the woman that they got the baby from is actually like the yep, I hear it. All right, damn it. Is actually like the great granddaughter of like this like crazy, like he was like a killer in like the 16th or 17th century or whatever, and so the baby is likely his soul transferred into
Right.
the baby, and so at first Oscar Isaac doesn't believe it, but then he comes to the final realization that okay, this is a real thing. Demi Moore doesn't want to believe it, and it all comes to a head on like the baby's first birthday.
Okay. Yeah.
Where it's like the baby can now like do all these crazy things, like it can fly around, it can walk, and like yeah,
Fly around.
yeah,
Love
it can levitate and hover and like all this kind of stuff, and so it comes to a head on that day, and Oscar Isaac is trying to save Demi Moore, and like the baby is throwing him around the room, throwing him, and like puts his hand in the garbage disposal or whatever, and like it almost goes off. And then finally Oscar Isaac is like punching the baby and stuff, and like choking it out, and obviously it's a doll or animatronic or whatever, and the soul of like the great grandfather or whatever shows up and like comes out of the baby. Like it's a really gruesome scene. By the way, this is like a crazy hard R.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, like film.
Very graphic.
Yeah, like the baby transforms into this killer, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's through this like amazing CG real special effect where you see like the limbs growing and it's all gruesome and gross and everything, and then Oscar Isaac like shoots it with a harpoon gun. And that's the
Oh,
end.
cool. So he's also like a diver.
Yeah,
He's a diver.
he's a part-time adventurer. That's that comes up big a lot in the film. Is and so there's a scene where they're outside in the backyard and he shoots him with a harpoon gun and I don't know, he falls into the pool or something. And then they check the pool the next day and he's gone.
It's gone. I like it.
Yeah, there you go. Twist. Big twist.
And what's? Oh no, the title was "Born to Raise Hell." It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, so
God.
okay, there's gonna be a very discreet, very nuanced answer to this.
Sure.
Would
sure.
I see this movie? The answer is, practically speaking, I almost certainly would never see this movie because I don't see any of those. I don't see any of those like Insidious movies or any of the Conjuring or any of those.
Yeah.
But I want to see all of them. So the reason for this is that I just don't have the time, and I also Ina, my wife, will never watch anything even remotely like this. So I'm kind of hamstrung. And the times that I have to watch these movies.
Yeah. Well, you watch one and you've seen them all. You watch like all of those kind of movies are very like very rote, very by the numbers, by the book kind of.
But I'm interested in all of those movies. So like what like I just spent the
Conjuring and
I spent some time yesterday just reading a very detailed description of the movie Don't Breathe. Did you ever see that movie?
Probably, yeah.
It's like a horror movie. It's like a bunch of kids break into.
No,
I've never seen it.
And
I've
there's
never seen it.
Yeah, there's like a vet that's inside, right? And like
I've seen blind
it.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've never seen it, but I spent like an hour reading an incredibly detailed description of the movie. So I would almost certainly never see that movie, but I would be very interested in reading a detailed description of it, which I guess you just gave me. So anyway,
right. All right. So that's a partial.
I would green light that.
A partial yes. All right, green light.
Okay.
Partial yes. All right.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Yeah. All right.
You give me another one.
All right. Well, let me pull up the spreadsheet and.
Oh yeah, I'm giving numbers, right?
Yeah. So, give me 1 to 30.
4.
Aquafina.
Ooh,
yeah.
Aquafina.
Yeah. All right, and
write this down.
And again.
How do you spell Aquafina?
It's complicated.
It's
like awkward, but then fina at the end.
Okay, Aquafina.
Yeah.
So we have Aquafina. I need another number. That's going to be 11. 11, please.
All right. Well, I will give you Colin Firth.
Ooh. All right, Colin Firth.
And
England's own, I guess.
And do you want? I mean, what did you do last time? Genre or title?
I did genre. So give me a title.
You want to do
and
title?
I'll do,
all right, 1 to 30.
And I'll do 23.
Oh God. Okay. It is called Frisbee Town. I can give you another title if you want.
No. I like Frisbee Town.
All right.
And
I mean, you can take it any which way you want with that. So.
Rich, I'm not even mad because I have the perfect movie for this.
All right. Well, I'm excited. All right, so I'm gonna start you off. 5 minutes. Aquafina, Colin Firth. The title is Frisbee Town. Starting now.
Rich, There's been movies about golf.
Yep.
There's been movies about football. There's Rudy.
Yep.
Right. There's a movie about boxing. There's Rocky.
Yep.
Has there ever been a movie about frisbee golf? There's never been a movie about frisbee golf.
No, there has not.
About the sport of frolf or disc golf, I think it's also called.
Right.
So, this is the story of a guy played by Colin Firth, who comes into a lot of money. Because he's an English guy. He's from England.
Yep.
And his father who's played by John Cleese.
Okay.
Don't know if that works. I think John Cleese is super old. Anyway,
That's
he's
fine.
like Lord whatever, Lord Soggy Bottom from whatever of Chad, Paddington.
Yeah.
He dies,
Okay.
and he leaves the estate
Mm-hmm.
to his son, his only son, Colin Firth.
Yeah.
And he's one of these like titled like member of the peerage or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of talk about like, so in addition to inheriting this estate, he inherits all like the debt. This happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
With people who have these big estates. There's like tons of property tax, and there's tons of like expenses, and then people get saddled with this stuff.
Right.
So they're like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell it to this developer? Or are you going to sell it to whatever? And then Colin Firth, knowing nothing about Frisbee golf, decides to open up an entire town that's for this, on his estate, on his family estate, that's for Frisbee golf. And so this
is the solution.
Yeah, so this is like a comedy. It's kind of like it's like kind of a thing. So in the the people stay. It's kind of a combination of Field of Dreams and something like Meatballs.
Okay.
Movie Meatballs. So he's like, I'm gonna open. Like, I don't want to sell my family's estate.
Yeah.
In Stinking Hampshire or whatever it's called. So he
beat a little harsh there. Yeah.
So he sees a YouTube video of this young prodigy, like this young, like the hottest person who does like Frisbee golf. Like she's like the Tiger Woods of Frisbee golf.
Yeah.
And it's played by Awkwafina.
Right.
And she like she does like trick shots, and she's amazing. She's on the tour, and she's kind of like a rock and roll version. Like she's like bringing Frisbee golf.
Is there a Frolf tour? Is there a Frolf tour?
In this world, there is a Frolf tour. I have no idea.
No, I don't know. I'm not. That's not a
disc golf.
It's not an accusation. I don't know.
So he sets this like, it's like the course, this course up.
Yeah.
And he calls it Frisbee Town.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "You're crazy. You're besmirching your family's name, all sorts of stuff like that." Yeah. And he's like, "If I do this, then people will come."
Yeah.
And so he entices her to come because he knows nothing about the sport.
Right.
And he's like, "You have to tell me how to set this up. You have to show me. And you have all of this land in England, in the rolling hills of wherever, to set up your Frisbee, your dream Frisbee golf course." So they're working together, but she's like a rock star. She's like
prima donna.
Living large.
One minute.
Oh Jesus, she has like a TikTok presence, and she's like always doing like wacky stunts and stuff like that. So he teaches her how to like sort of buckle down and like plan this thing, and she teaches him how to like loosen up, right? And like how to like hang out, and like how to do like I don't know, TikTok stuff. Anyway, all this. So he builds this thing like the St. Andrews or whatever or like the Pebble Beach of Frisbee golf, and then they have the World Championship. It gets awarded to them, and so she's gonna play on this, and then they have a bunch of wacky, like played by like Nick Kroll, and like I'm trying to think of like Matthew McConaughey shows up, and he's like the old master or whatever, and they have like the great tournament at the end and at Frisbee Town, and they make this community, and the stuffy people from England, the upper class of England, look down on it. They look down because they have all these like kind of Frisbee golf losers who are showing up, but it becomes this huge hit, and it becomes a huge deal. And Jim Nance, who does the Masters, is in it playing himself as the announcer. And anyway, Awkwafina wins the World Championship, which she should. She designed the course, I guess. Okay, that's it.
All right, all right. Frisbee Town. All right.
Frisbee Town. He
I lo-
builds Frisbee Town.
He builds Frisbee Town. I like it. I like it because it is obviously utterly ridiculous. It is something that I would watch. I don't feel like the general public would be receptive to this movie, but maybe. I
also have no idea how, like, cinematically interesting Frisbee golf is.
I mean, I guess anything can be made interesting with the right touch and the right.
Yes, so.
But no, it's I mean, obviously you get shades of Happy Gilmore and what was that?
Slobs versus Snobs, Tin Cup.
Yeah, Tin Cup, and there's kind of every once in a while a movie gets made about kind of like a subgenre of like sport or like a niche kind of like, you know, like wasn't there like a beer pong movie and stuff? And,
I think there was, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how big the world of Frisbee golf is, but it's definitely not.
There was that. Was it just a ping pong movie with Christopher Walken, or was that a beer pong movie?
Yeah, no, I think
Balls of
Fury maybe or something.
Balls of Fury. Was that just ping pong?
I think that
wasn't necessarily beer pong. Okay.
Yeah, but no, I mean every once in a while they do this type of thing, and it develops a cult following, which I think this would, where it's, you know, you'll have, you know, stoner people just loving this thing, and you know, maybe 50 years down the line, it's fondly regarded as a 50 years.
Classic.
Yeah, 50 years is a bit long.
Long.
Maybe 25 years down the line, it's regarded as being a classic. And no, I mean, it sounds like a bunch of fun, and if they took the right tone, the right tact with it, and yeah, I mean, I would watch it. I would totally just get drunk one Sunday afternoon and just be like, let's put on Frisbee Town. Yeah, and watch some hijinks, and no, it sounds like a fun time. So I'm in. I'm in. All right, so I'm going next.
See what my hair is doing? Do you see this? Are we capturing what my hair is doing?
Yeah. It's I don't know.
That's a real COVID hair there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. All right, so it's my.
So I'm giving you. I will not give you Pierce Brosnan again because I already blew that.
Sure.
But your actor is.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give you people who are dead. I will give you Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, okay.
Harry Potter himself.
Mm-hmm.
The female actor is. Something went wrong. Error 404. Megan Fox. Megan Fox is your female actor. And then, do you want a title or do you want a genre? I gave you a title last time.
Well, let's do genre then.
Okay, we're gonna fire up the.
I can hear it.
The wheel of. This is brought to you by Wordwall. Fantasy sci-fi.
All right.
Fantasy sci-fi starring Daniel Radcliffe and Megan Fox.
Okay.
And your timer starts now.
All right. Fantasy sci-fi, Daniel Radcliffe, Megan Fox. Okay, this is a movie that is medieval in kind of origin and genre, and it's a Lord of the Rings kind of parody.
So really hitting that fantasy. Side of
the fantasy angle. It's a Lord of the Rings almost parody-esque type thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of Your Highness, that's kind of the tone that we're going for, and Daniel Radcliffe is like a Frodo-esque character in this. And he is going on this quest to find this magical sword that is the one and only sword that can. There's a dragon. There's this big dragon that's kind of like a. It's kind of like a. It's not really. It's a killer, but it's also kind of like a D-bag as well. it's voiced by.
Does it talk?
It talks. It's voiced by Eric Andre. And it kind of just shows up and is just like a kind of like a jerk and does kind of and it kills people maybe sometimes, but like most of the time it's just like wrecking buildings and stuff. And so there's only one sword that has the capability to kill dragons in all of the land. This sword is inside a stone, which is inside a mountain, which is inside. Okay, that's it. All right, there's no nesting, there's no more nesting dolls in this thing. All right, so it's located inside it's inside an emerald. It's inside a big giant emerald inside a mountain. That's like a volcano or some crap like that. And so Daniel Radcliffe needs to go on this quest to find this thing, and he teams up with Megan Fox, who is an elf or whatever. And she is actually kind of also a jerk in the sense that like she's got her own thing going on and she doesn't want to go on this quest, but she's also like his best friend from school, whatever school that they go to. And so how old is Daniel Radcliffe? Yeah, they're playing like
she's maybe a little bit older than him, right?
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. Okay, so they have regular jobs, but they're both from Hobgoblin Elf University or whatever. They're both friends from back then, and so they have a little bit of a complicated history. Maybe they're dating. Maybe things didn't work out. Anyhow, so he recruits her, and she's like, "All right, fine, I'll do this because she owes him a favor or whatever for something." And so she joins the team. Jonah Hill is also part of the team,
nice.
as his roommate, his current roommate, who's kind of a slob and doesn't really do anything. He's an ogre, and he kind of gets roped into doing this as well. And then they go off to see. This wizard that's gonna help them out, played by Michael Caine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's Michael Caine. He's bald and he's still got his glasses and stuff for some reason. Like they didn't edit that or anything like that. It's just
1 minute.
Yeah. It's just like a bald Michael Caine and like kind of like a robe type thing, and he's given the he's furiously going through his books and stuff, and he's trying to give them some tips, so he tells them you got to go through this passage, and there's like all these there's 3 challenges that you got to face in order to get this magic sword, and basically they go on their quest, and the first challenge, they fail at first, and then they manage to do it, and they slowly start working well as a team together. And,
10 seconds.
Yeah, they slowly start working well as a team together, and basically, they get to the point where they have to face the dragon, the dragon who's called Maltazar, and
it's Eric Andre.
Yeah, Eric Andre, and they don't have the sword. It's still encapsulated in the emerald,
right.
and they use the power of friendship to reason with the dragon, because they actually don't kill the dragon. They realize that mercy and sympathy is the best, and they actually work through his problems. He has like psychological problems that they work through. It's very anticlimactic that way. It's a lot of it is like just
no. That's its own kind of climax. Is that you come to an emotional victory as opposed to a
So they help him out, and actually he's got problems with his dad, and so they find the father dragon lives in like a different town, and so they take him to go see him. and the father dragon is Anthony Hopkins. But
Nice.
it's like a comedic role for him, and like it turns out that he's just like really negative. He didn't want his dragon son to become like him, and that he actually wanted him to become a doctor or whatever. And so he's like
A Dr. Dragon?
yeah, a Dr. Dragon. And so he finally accepts him for the kind of like trollish troublemaker that he is, and the dragon decides, Maltazar decides that he's gonna give them the power to get the sword out of there, in case future dragons show up.
I see. Not to kill him.
Not to use on him. He trusts them enough that he realizes what he was doing was wrong, and that if their town ever comes in under attack again, that they need to be able to
defend themselves.
To defend themselves, because they can't always reason their way out of this or whatever. And so they get the sword. Daniel Radcliffe gets the sword, and he goes back to town, and he's a hero.
Is there a relationship? Like, do him and Megan Fox are they just buddies?
They're just buddies. But at the end, he asks her on a date. After and we find out, we get a flashback. There's an extensive epilogue to this, where we get a flashback to the high school days, and it turns out he ghosted her. That's the animosity is he had ghosted her, and he didn't during Hobbit school or whatever. He didn't show up for their one date that they were supposed to have.
It's getting closer and closer to Harry Potter the more you talk about this. Hobbit school.
They go on a date, and you can tell things are going well, but it's left open ended. And also, Jonah Hill is on the date as well for some reason, because he's a loser, and they don't want to leave him out, and he's like a lovable sad sack. All right, so that's what was the title? Was there a title?
There was no title. You have to give me the title.
Okay. The title is,
What was the name of the dragon again? It was Maltazar.
Maltazar. I want to incorporate. So I don't know. The title is Fantasy Quest. That's it. It's
Fantasy Quest.
It's just like the cheesiest genre title ever. As I said, it's a spoof. It's kind of like Your Highness. So it's just Fantasy Quest. That's it.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned Your Highness, because my initial feeling was that I would never see this movie, because I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about the dragons or swords or orcs or whatever. Like, I don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
However, Rich, you know this. We went to go see Your Highness.
Yes.
So I have a soft spot. I went to go see that in theaters. I have a soft spot for your kind of wacky spoof version. Even though I don't remember liking that movie that much.
Yeah.
I did see it.
Yep.
I did pay money to see it, so I would go see this movie.
I should mention Fantasy Quest is also really crude and raunchy, and just like, it's borderline. It's very borderline, to the point where you're like almost like, I can't take it, but then it kind of brings you around. But yeah, I probably wouldn't see this movie.
Like, history has shown that I would see this movie, because I saw Your Highness.
No, so did I. So I say I probably wouldn't see this movie. Chances are I probably would, but it'd be one that I'd be embarrassed to tell people about. So I don't know.
Fair enough. That's all you need. Yeah.
Pitchcast viewers, we're definitely going to do something for the Oscars.
Do something for the Oscars.
We just don't know exactly what yet, but we'll figure it out, and then we'll announce it on a future episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you were hosting this one, so you ended off or whatever.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, if you've made it this far. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
On
please
on YouTube.
I will beg you, please.
Please do that.
Yeah.
And we will see you. Also, what we used to do, we used to solicit titles, right? We used to try to get titles from people.
Yeah.
So if you want to send titles on Twitter, I am at Paul Daniel Beer on Twitter. So if you want to do that,
or YouTube.
or YouTube. Yeah, you can send it on the via comments, I guess, on YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll incorporate your title into the next Pitchcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and stay safe, Suicide Squad.
All right.